had my volume set, was copying everybody pretty good, and then Ken came on, and I don't know, I gotta go look, see if that cone got broken, Ken. Wow! Good to hear you, man. And let's take a moment here. Anybody else that's come in late here, not late, but right here as we're starting the net, come on in now, let me get you down. W6YEC. Okay, hearing nobody, we'll get this thing started. And speaking of Ken, Ron said you're at the top of the list, so take it away, Ken. K6CJA, W6YEC.
Yeah, W6YEC and the good group, K6CJA. Boy, you already heard my signal on the tune-up. I did that for a change. And running the same equipment. A Homebrew 813 rig. Colin 75A4 receiving device. British microphone. Big one. And on and on and on. AMI number is, what the hell is it? 993. 993, I think. Anyway, nothing. We'll listen here. Good signals tonight. The band is really strong for a change. W6YEC, K6CJA.
Okay, very good, Ken. Well, I was thinking as you ran down the list of the equipment, from my point of view, yours too, I think, but from my point of view, AM, you can't do any better on a Homebrew 813 and a 75A4. I mean, that's it. I mean, that's the tops. So, anyway, that's how I see it. 993, got it. Thank you so much. Ron, come on in again and tell us what you're running and whatever else you've got for us. KD6VWS, W6YEC.
Okay, George. W6YEC, the AMI group, K6VWS, Ron and Josh. And my number is 1671. AMI. And Kim, if you forget your number, I'll be
Yeah, I found that. But I couldn't
so just ask me.
key up on 145.
Anyway, I'm running the Johnson Valiant version 1 and 450-watt carrier and
I got all that
Turner
stuff
Plus
set.
3
I got the tone
microphone,
set. I
even on the
something on set, 600.
NC125.
But
Got the cube amplifier switched out right now, so because everybody's coming in back and sounding good.
that puts it at 144, 600 minus.
You know, when swapping around cable, those conditions are doing pretty good, so I really enjoyed going down. So thank you for taking the net. So W6YEC, K6VWS.
Okay, the Valiant doing awesome. As always, with that NFED and the NC125, you know what's going on there. Ah, that's so cool. Consistency. That's a beautiful thing. Consistency. All right, let's get it to your neighbor, KM6QQU. I think I haven't heard, maybe you came in earlier when I was, I don't know. Mike, I think you're running the ART13. Let's hear that, Ruby. KM6QQU, W6YEC.
All right, George, W6YEC, this is KM6QQU, Mike in Yucca Valley. And you are correct, I am running the ART13 with the BC348 and that dynamo hum in the back. ART13 has a homebrew power supply, compliments of Ken, K6CJA, and the BC348 has a homebrew power supply speaker combo that I made to run the dynamo. Number 1768. I got a full wave loop antenna being tuned in with a SA2060A Heathkit antenna tuner, and I also got a little Heathkit HM 102 watt meter in front of me. Just so I can turn around and look at the antenna tuner, see it, watt meter. No on the round table, no on the swap. I lost the first 4 rounds. So back over you there, George. W6YEC, this is KM6QQU.
Okay, real good, Mike. And I hear the dynamotor in the background there. That's awesome. I've got a nice BC 348. It's out in my shed. I just can't have it all the stuff in here, but that is a fun receiver. And I've never had an ART-13. And years ago I would have liked one, but we're past those stages now. So it's just fun to know I got a friend like you that has one that's really sounding great. All right, real good. Now over to my neighbor, M6BZY, W6YEC. My neighbor is just, I can't tell you, he's got women everywhere. He's got a woman in Louisiana, that's his daughter. He's got a woman up in Northern California, that's his daughter. He's got a wife and his son's girlfriend, but anyway, he's just got a lot of women around his house. And when they call, ham radio becomes second. I've been trying to train him to get them to call at a different time, or to say, wait a minute, I have a net, I'll be back to you. But he hasn't been able to be trained. I don't know if it's that you can't teach old dogs new tricks, or what the deal is. But you guys I just want to bring you up to speed, when you think about Paul. Surrounded by all these women. Okay, well, I've got another neighbor, and I know he's there. And not in Lemon Grove, but in La Mesa. N6WHK, take it away, Phil. W6YEC.
W6YEC and 6WHK. Paul checks into all these nets, but he's very seldom on the net. Oh, well. And then when you ask him, that telephone call. What are the girls called? That's good for him. At least he enjoys his family. My number 1661, Johnson Viking Ranger, MO and HU110, L4B, just to have the signal around. Putting out about 200 watts, approximately, maybe less. Johnson Matchbox to keep everything in tune. D104 mic. Antennas about 235 feet of wire and a kind of a diamond configuration last time I looked, but wind knocked down one of the trees. It used to be tied to, but that's been modified. I'm still wrapping the antenna down. It's my 440, but it's got to get back up. And I'm still working on getting the HF antennas working. So I'm in the loops. The loops are working beautifully. That's what I'm on tonight. So with that, back to net control. Noah on the round table there, George. Nancy 6, Whiskey Hotel Kilo.
All right, Phil. Thanks so much. Good to see you today. And, keep us feeling this learning. Doing good. All right, let's take a moment and just see if anybody else is parked out there waiting to get on the list here. Have some latecomers that come in, one reason or another, so let's just stand by. Anybody else that'd like to get on the Monday Night AMI list, come now.
Yeah, I said something, but I heard somebody tried to come back, but I couldn't talk.
Nope, I don't hear anybody. Okay, well, let's move it up to Northern California. Kevin, how you doing, man? W86 JKN, W6YEC.
Yeah, I always run the 3F over 2000. On HM.
Yeah, W6YEC and the AMI group, WA6JKN. Yeah, the San Diego version. Good evening. This is Kevin in Gilroy. Yep, I'm in Gilroy, but I'm doing something different tonight. Slightly different. I'm operating digital portable on my iPhone. So it's working out pretty good, I think. I can see the spectrum scope. I have the forward power SWR calculation, those kinds of things showing up on this little screen. It gets a little busy. And I have the REA modulation monitor, and it says I'm getting pretty close to 100% when I modulate.
Let me see.
So,
I think I know how to
yeah,
fix
I'm
that.
running full legal limit. I call this the all-band super duper senior combination with the ICOM 7610 driving the Mercury Lux amplifier. With all the, I'm using new software. It's called Waveform View, and I love it. This is the best piece of software I've ever seen ever come out for ICOM radios. They got a team of 3 top-notch software engineers from around the world that's been developing this software at a very rapid pace, and they have, I think, close to 800, maybe 1,000 beta testers, and I'm one of them. So I've been testing the heck out of this thing and really enjoying it. I've used it on all bands for the most part, and of course everybody that knows that operated during the rally, AM rally 10 meters and 15 meters was really a lot of fun this weekend. Well, anyway, no swap or want. No roundtable tonight. I just wanted to check in and let everybody know that I'm hearing them direct. So with that, I'm going to listen out on the iPhone here, and if anybody has a question, I'll be able to pop right back in, no problem. You know, this thing just sits in my pocket, shirt pocket. You know, it's where in the old days, that's where they used to hold their pack of cigarettes. So now it's perfect for iPhones. Well, you probably should leave it there too long. I don't know if it's doing anything that might radiate my heart, but oh well. I guess I'm old enough that it's not going to make a lot of difference. So with that, thanks for that. Was the 3-minute timer. I still have that built in. Steve suggested I should increase it to something longer, but I haven't gotten the nerve to do that yet. Besides, I need to be trained not to be a long-winded person. All right, so no roundtable. Ron, thank you for doing the earlies, and of course, George, you're doing a fine job there running the net tonight. Thank you very much for doing so. So with that, back to net control. W6YEC, this is WA6JKN Digital Portable.
Well, okay, Kevin, very good. Nice to hear you. Digital portable, interesting. Not the normal signal. I don't know what the deal is. When you check back in, you were very weak. Ron probably maybe didn't even hear you. And right now, you're average in S9. A lot of QAC between a 7 and 10 over was the highest you got, and you dipped down to an S7, which is very, very unusual for our communication between the two of us. So, at any rate, maybe it's just band conditions. It's obviously got some length to the band because we're here in the east, but maybe it's really not so good for the north. I don't know. At any rate, that's how I was hearing you. Just thought, didn't mean anything necessarily. Just thought I'd give you that report. But 7610 sounds fine on the Mercury and on the beta testing, I guess, and all that. Anyway, very good on the software. All right, enjoy your evening, and let's get into my friend Larry. So good to have you aboard N6 IYC, W6YEC.
Oh, thank you, George. W6YEC.
Okay. Now, I released the one channel that I was the channel was on. I had to re-enter the 82 machine, but that's okay. I put it where the 08 used to be.
3 miles away from our machine, 3 miles away from Anyway, let's see. Operating conditions here are running the red-headed stepchild of our group here, the mighty Kenwood PS480 HX, and modulating the inverted V at about 25 feet. One end pulled up high and one end pulled up to about 12 feet. So there you go. With only 1-to-1 current balance with about 62 for the wire on each side. There you go. And everyone sounded good so far. I've had everybody. Steve, Ford on Mesa Grande. I got the report that where he was doing wood harvest. George there. You know that's the motorcycle hospital that fly into the Josie. So, you know, we go through there quite a bit. Respectfully, though. Respectfully. Riding guys. There you go. And Ron, good on the e-bike. Having a really good time with our friends on e-bikes up there in Utah. Brought a couple with us. Rode those all over in Zion National Park. So that's really good stuff. Well, and man, it's a lot of good business going on. Well, no on the round table and no on the swap. And my AMI 1815. I guess that's it for here. W6YEC, KM6IYC, sending it back to you.
Very good, Eric. Wonderful. All right. Okay, on the motorcycle run through there. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Didn't know that necessarily, but it makes sense. Okay, very good. Well, speaking of Steve, it's your turn, Steve. KF6SYD, W6YEC.
All right. Sounding good tonight, George. I really haven't been using the computer too much to hear everyone. So good night tonight. Not, really great, but I can hear everybody on the NC300. KF6SYD, Steve in Long Beach, AMI 1708, CCA AM 1000D transmitter. AKG microphone, inverted V at 70 feet. And let's see, not too much else going on. George, you're talking about all the catfish and bass. I'm glad you got to do that. They're all gone. That lake dried up. We walked through that, I think it was 6 or 8 years ago. That top lake is the one that had all the nice fish in it. It dried up till it was like, I think it was like 50 feet long, the water. Like 50 feet long, 25 feet wide, and about 6 inches deep. And nothing could have lived through that. None of those fish could have lived through that. And Greg said he went up there and caught some crappie from down below and threw it up on top. So I might have some fish in the top, but all those beautiful, what you remember and catching and eating, that's all gone. It got too dry one time. There just wasn't anything left of it to keep them alive. But I'm glad you got to fish in that thing when it was really nice and stocked. I don't know if I'll ever put fish in that again. If it keeps drying up, I won't. What's the point? Stock it all and watch it go dry again. Anyhow, not too much. Thanks for running the net tonight, George. And I've been sitting here practicing the slide rule. Multiplying and dividing. I can't think of much else to do with one of these, but I've been multiplying and dividing with my slide rule so I don't forget how to use it. So there you go. Back over to you, George. No round table, no swap. W6YEC, KF6SYD.
Okay, Steve, real good. Yeah, W6YEC. Yeah, walk down memory lane there. That was a lot of fun. And all up there. Okay, following the slide rule brought back my memory of my dad. He used to when I was a kid. I carried the slide rule with him and used it at work and all of that. That was my introduction to the slide rule, so very good on all that. Okay, Steve, real good. We got to get a schedule here and get caught up, so we'll figure that one out. And let's see, Annie, it's your turn. What's been going on? I'm going to fill in my ear. Curry Mountain, KD6TKX, W6YEC.
W6YEC and the Monday night AMI group. This is Kilowatt Delta 6 Tango Kilo X-Ray Andy at Curry Mountain. And good evening, George and Steve and everybody else. Nice signals here tonight, kind of a surprise. And everything's going great up here. We had quite a storm, just like everybody else. And the normally dry creek became a raging river and transformed some of the landscape around here, but it's back down, and we got kind of a reset. So, and let's see, I got a new truck finally. I've been at a ranch for 6 years, and I just bought the pickup truck. So a little slow in the uptake, but you know, better late than never, I guess. Tonight I'm running my one of my British sets. This is a 1940 wireless set number 12 transmitter with the R107 receiver, each about the size of a Viking Valiant, but because of their compactness, they saw fit to use these in trucks and some other installations. Could be the only wireless set 12 in operation this side of the pond. Not sure about that, but it's possible. Pretty obscure, but really neat transmitter with a lot of really good features too. So it's surprising. But you look at it, and it just doesn't compute. It's so different from American sets. But anyways, I really enjoy using it. Glad I was able to get it working. And yeah, so that's it. No swap, no roundtable. Just happy to be here as part of the net. Thank you to Ron for taking the earlies and picking me up. And George, as always, great to hear you. And thank you for running the net. So back down to Lemon Grove, W6YEC, KD6TKX.
Okay, Andy, real good. Well, it's always a thrill to find out what you're running. British wireless sounds great, and good to have you in there tonight. So let me take a moment and find out one more time. Anybody else that's just maybe tuned in and wants to get on the list, come now. W6YEC.
NY6L Hesperia.
All right. Second Hesperia station for the night. Gotcha, Jay. Anybody else? Keep listening for Bob there in the Phoenix area, but I haven't heard him yet. So, and John, WA6JUS, those guys usually land the plane. So we'll see. We're not done yet. Skip, it is your turn. How are you doing up there in Santa Monica? By the bay or sea or whatever it is. K6LGL, W6YEC.
Okay, thank you, George. W6YEC and the Monday San Diego AMI group, K6LGL. Good to hear a lot of getting a little interference for Alaska. It's winter conditions, so what can we do? Just do what we can. Just skip in Santa Monica. I'm on my oversized suitcase lunchbox, plate modulator type from Benton Harbor, known as the GX100. Much modified and much advanced. All solid state and all that good stuff, just to feel and even some handles to be able to pull out this thing out of the cabinet there. So, and develop a microphone with a few audio modifications, acoustic modifications, into homebrew dipole. It's about at least a generation old. Yeah, my number 1226, 13 and 213, the way I remember it. And I don't know, we'll see what happens about a possible roundtable there. Hey, good to hear everybody. And, hey, good evening to Jay there, last check-in. So I guess Bob is next there from La Cañada. Somebody said La Canada. Yeah. So, that's all there, George. Thank you for doing the net and Ron for doing the earlies. And hey, we'll see some of you on Wednesday there. Keep the angel music flowing. W6YEC and the MINET, K6LGL.
Okie dokie. Very good. Well, the Benton Harbor GX100 sounds great. I was just sitting here having memories of those years, and never really had one. That was just in operating position, and that was my transmitter. But remember back in those days, that was an attraction. It was a big, beautiful box in many ways, as we would call beauty in the ham radio. But I had a DX20, and so I thought, wow, what would it be like to have a DX100, that big monster sitting there? And we weren't thinking, a big transmitter like that. That didn't bother us, did it? Today, it's I think twice before I'm gonna grab a 100-pound transmitter. But at any rate, it's in those days it didn't bother us. Skip, it's doing well, and I hope you're making some progress on the Globe King there. All right, Bob, it is your turn. Hey, were you guys involved at all with the tracking of the Chinese weather balloon? Hi. W9JIB, W6YEC.
No, we were not, George. Stand by one. Okay. W6YEC, WA9JIB. No tracking of a Chinese weather balloon by any organization that I am associated with. That's all I know about that. I can say about it. So that was a both comedic and tragic event, I guess, for the week. What can I say? Anyway, I had a DX35 when I was in my misspent youth. I never had a DX100. And great fan. I haven't heard you on in a while. Great to hear you back on the air. And sound good. Everybody sounds good. George, you have the strongest signal. Little QR Mary there in the background. Anyway, so Bob here, La Cañada, running a D104 microphone into a Johnson Viking Valiant, also a version 1.0. I do go through an MFJ 962 Delta tuner, because my antenna is not as resonant as it should be. And let's see, but I get about 140, 150 watts of carrier, and the antenna is a dipole inverted V, hangs off a 35-foot mast. The receiver is the Hammerland HQ129 X-ray. And like I say, copying everybody direct, varying signal strength. Good night, and I agree, someone said not great, but good, and I would concur with that. But yeah, I'm hearing everybody. So let's see, no AMI number for me, no buy-sell swap at the moment. I was going to say now negative on the round table, but if Skip's going to hang around, and maybe Jay will hang around, you can make me as tentative as they are. So we'll see what develops. Back to you, George. Ye of the big signal. W6YEC, WA9JIB.
Okay, Bob. Well, you maybe just made Skip permanent with that comment on the round table, so I've got you both there, and we'll see what Jay wants to do about it and all that. Every time I hear your HQ129X, I wonder, should I go to the garage and bring mine in here? I have it hooked up out there. I pulled a 52 Chevy out, then I can get to it and turn it on, and I did the other day, actually. But I really enjoy the smoothness of the 110 and its attractiveness as well. But that was such a wonderful receiver, and I got it back from somebody that bought it from me, 5-6 years ago, and he was moving, needed to get rid of stuff. And then Paul had it, and then he decided to go another way, and he needed to get rid of it, so I got it back. And I'm torn because I don't need another receiver, but it is a beauty. Just love playing with that thing and listening to shortwave and the ham bands too. Pretty stable too. I get to hear sideband as well. So Bob, always enjoyed hearing that. Okay, one more, and we'll do one last holler out, and then wrap this up if nobody else is here. NY6LJ, how are you and Diane doing? 106YEC.
Well, busy as can be with daughter and granddaughter and 3 dogs, and well, oh my goodness, it's well, how should I say, like a three-ring circus, but, you know, that's the way it is. Always doing something here, so that's a good thing. It's all good. All right, back there to you there, George, and thanks for running the net. W6YEC NY6LJ here in Hesperia, and hello to Ken.
Yeah, okay, are you on the Super Senior?
Yeah, the super duper.
Yeah, what do you use for a receiver now? You still use that 400?
Now, 400 is going to go bye-bye. I'm going to take it to the SCARS auction in 2 weeks. Unless someone's interested here. No, I'm using the NC303, the National NC303 here.
Oh, wonderful. I didn't know that. Okay, what a beautiful setup, especially the receiver there, NC303. That's such a great receiver. And then Super Senior, you've had a great setup. Okay, very good. Well, you're pretty close to me. I've got 2 dogs, a granddaughter, and a daughter-in-law, and a son. Now, they live next door, so they don't live in the house. But as much as my granddaughter is here, she might as well. She comes to see Grandpa all the time down here to the radio room and then up to see Grandma, and then said, no, I want to go home. So I relate in some ways there, my friend. Okay, one last call. Jay, did you want to stick around?
Easy way.
I could stick around as long as I don't get called out for grandpa duties.
Okay, I'm going to put you, Skip, Bob, and you on the list, okay? And everybody else can pop in if they want to. But I'm going to we'll wrap it up here. We'll give it back to Skip, and you. I've got you guys down, and maybe John and Bob will come along before that. And guess what? I don't know, guys. We should probably take a vote. Should we let Paul in? We called him twice, and he didn't respond. But now he's here. Well, I'm just going to make an executive decision. I think we should let him in, given his length of time with AMI, and probably has the lowest number on the list here of anybody. So yeah, we'll make room for him. Paul, take a transmission. NCBZY W6YEC.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm glad I'm allowed in late. I'm just getting a late check-in. It was on the cell phone with the daughter, so they had a little discussion, but didn't take all that long. But figured I'd at least come in and say howdy do to everybody. Looks like you're starting the round table portion, but I just wanted to say hello. In, out. Everybody have a good one. In 6B, Z, and a Y.
W6JUS. I knew it. I knew it if we just dragged it out, John would get here. W6JUS. Okay, Paul. Well, I'm glad you were able to get disconnected in time to be able to check in. We explained it all to the guys. They all understood. And anyway, glad you made it in. John, you're the last one at the moment, unless Bob or somebody else shows up here. WA6JUS, W6YEC.
Thank you, George. Yeah, my number is 1258. Nice AM round. Sort of a festive QSO party. Was it last night or the night before? Well, I've got my engines going in this old 72 Winnebago. This is the Moose Lodge in Spring Valley, and it's still ticking, and so maybe I can do something with it, and it will run. And so they put me for the round table. W6YEC, WA6JUS.
Okay, John, got you down. And that's it then for this Monday night. And what is it? The 6th of February. So we're going to close down the Monday night AMI net here at 1941, according to my atomic clock. And thanks for everybody that participated. It was a wonderful net, just hearing all you guys in there. And we hope everybody else that's in and out sometimes, they're all doing okay. So with that, I'm going to relinquish being net control. I'm going to bow out myself because I've got a few things I've got to get done before tomorrow. And I'm going to give it back to you there, Skip, K6LGL. And I have it as you turn it to Bob, WA9JIB. And Bob turns it to J, NY6L. And Jay, you'll turn it to John, WA6JUS. Guys have a good round table there. Q6LGL, W6YEC will be in the clear.